What is up, homies? My name is Felix and I'm here back again with another video for you all today. So recently I was thinking about what is the most important concept when it comes to making music. And when it comes down to it, it's really no different than pretty much any other facet of your life, and it's that nothing matters. Really nothing matters. And I know some of you are confused by that, but I'll explain what I mean in a minute. Make sure you guys go check out my Instagram and my SoundCloud down in the description below. Playlist of songs I produce, Beat Store, Discord, all that stuff. Go check it out if you'd like to do so. And now let's get into this video. So when I say nothing matters, obviously that sounds like a very nihilistic approach. However, it's not exactly what you might think. So there's all these, preconceived notions about how you need to make music, what you need to do, the path you have to follow, all this kind of stuff. And none of that actually matters. For example, take literally anything where you think, okay, I need this thing to make music. You don't. A lot of people think that you need to learn music theory in order to make music. That is just not true. Learning stuff about music theory will help you to explain things that you're probably doing anyways, and it'll just explain why certain things sound good, but it's not a necessary thing. Some people say, oh, you need a lot of fancy plugins and instruments and a big fancy studio. You can make tons of great music off of just like a crappy laptop and a snowball mic, and tons of great music has been made with minimal equipment and not super fancy, expensive studios and stuff. I mean, people will argue about the DAW that you're using. Literally every single one does the same thing. It might not be the same process, but they all do the exact same thing. So yeah, none of the stuff that you think is important actually matters when it really comes down to it, because you have to kind of ask yourself, what is the point of you making music? You're not making music because you want to make money, and if you are, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. You should be making music because it's something that you enjoy, and maybe it became your job and you don't enjoy it anymore, but at one point it was something that you did because you enjoyed doing it, and that enjoyment comes from making the music, not the individual little things that you think are necessary to make the music. It's just the process of making the music. And making music can be so simple. All you need is a laptop, and even then, you could make an argument that you don't even really need a laptop to make music. Really the only thing that does matter is, what's up in here. And I know I say that like all the time, but it's true, because your creative vision and your creative expression is what actually matters when it really comes down to it. And this applies to anything. If you look at something like making art, for example, there's people who will do incredible, amazingly detailed pen drawings, and then there's people who have like the most fancy paints and pens and whatever, and they can't do anything nearly as good as the guy with, a ballpoint pen. When it really comes down to it, the only thing that actually matters is you and what's inside of you. When I even make these videos, there's been times where people are like, you don't want to give away too much sauce. I think you're giving people too many helpful tips. For me, I know that I can provide you guys with the benefit of like teaching you guys certain things, to certain guitar techniques, certain producer techniques and stuff like that. But I know that there's only one me, and nobody will be able to make music in the same way that I do, and nobody else's brain is going to function the same way that my brain functions. And that's the perception that you should have as well, because it's true. Nobody else has your brain, nobody else knows what goes on inside your head, nobody else is inspired by the same things that you are, so nobody can ever create the same exact music that you can. And then also another part of it is like, a lot of people think that they need to go down like this certain path to find success in the music world. Specifically people that think if they just upload a billion type beats that they'll, be the next pop-in producer. It doesn't work like that for everybody. Everybody's journey is completely different, and I wish that's something that more people realize, because when you're trying to go down the exact same path as somebody else, and there's already somebody else in that position that you want to be in, you are never going to amount to this person that's already in that position. However, this person's in this position, and you make your own path to this position, you will stand out individually in your own place rather than being, in somebody else's shadow. Because if you think about it, do you really want to be like, oh, this guy is just, another type beat producer? Or do you want to be like, wow, this guy does something that's super cool and creative that nobody else is doing, or this guy is the first person to do that? That to me is much more rewarding than just being like another type beat producer. Mind you, disclaimer, I have nothing against type beats and stuff like that. I do it too. I upload type beats and stuff on a second channel, but that's not like my main focus. I'm not doing that because I'm like pursuing that as like the pathway for me to find success or anything, because I know that I would much rather do something that's more original and that I'm actually much more passionate about to find success, or even not even find success. I don't care if I find success. I just enjoy making music for, the fun of it, and because I have a passion for it. But yeah, I don't want you guys to think when I say, nothing matters, that you should just be like, well, I should just give up music because none of this stuff even matters anyways. That's not the point that I'm trying to drive home. The point that I am trying to drive home is that you shouldn't get so caught up in like what you think you need or what you think you need to do or whatever. You should just be focused on making music because you have a passion for it and it's something that you really truly enjoy, rather than being worried about like all these other extra things. The focus and the main intent behind the music is what's actually important. And I'm also not saying that you absolutely need to just have the bare minimums, just only a laptop and never buy any guitars or never, use any new plugins or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. For me, personally, something that I really enjoy is getting new music gear and, working on like a studio setup. For example, what Kenny Beats does is really cool to me, how he just has tons of different instruments. He goes over to his drum kit, he records some drums, goes back to his piano, records some piano, goes over to his DX7, records some chords on there. Like that kind of stuff really like just gets me hyped up. Like I just love that kind of stuff. I love cool studio setups and cool music gear and stuff like that. But that kind of stuff isn't the reason I keep making music. The reason I keep making music because I enjoy it. The extra stuff is nice, but it doesn't actually really truly matter, because here I am in the corner of my grandma's living room next to a Hoya plant, and I still sit here and make beats for you guys with the equipment that I do have. But yeah, so that's pretty much gonna do it for me in this video today. I hope you guys enjoyed this little like producer advice type video. It's nice to just kind of sit down in front of the camera and give you guys some of my wisdom, some of my insight on stuff. Hopefully some of this information was useful to you guys and you can take some of it to heart, because I really do feel like the passion and the enjoyment that you have for making music is the utmost important thing. And that is what will ultimately keep you going making music for the rest of your life, forever. So yeah, don't get so caught up in all the extra stuff. Just enjoy making music. Make sure you guys go check out my Instagram and my SoundCloud down in the description below, along with the playlist of songs I produce, Beat Store, Discord, all that stuff. You guys already know, and I'll see you guys next time.
Energy critical, I think we both need some saving.